Welcome to another episode of Deeper Dive Podcast. I am Alex, your host, and I have a great guest on today. Quite a few of you may actually know this person already because he's just so great at networking and he gets out there. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
That's what I like to hear. It's good to have you. Because obviously I know we already have conversations, a lot of conversations ourselves, but it's nice to have you in this seat. It's like out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's where you need to be to grow, right?
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, I want to ask, who are you and what do you do so the audience can know more about you?
Okay. So, obviously my name's Aaron.
Pull that mic closer.
Very closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my name's Aaron, and I do various things. I do HigherSelfTheMovement, which is growing.
What is HigherSelfTheMovement?
What is HigherSelfTheMovement? It's basically, we take people out into nature. We do holistic practices with them, and we also just take people out of their comfort zones. And we just want to help people to reconnect, and that's what the movement's about. And obviously tackling mental health and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a beautiful thing what's happening right now. And
What else do you do?
I do higher self clothing, which is what I started before higher self the movement.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's all about just pushing a positive message and making people aware of their higher self and helping them to tap in.
Okay. So that's your two main things that you do.
Yeah.
You had to think about that for a moment, right? So, how did you start Higher Self Clothing? Like, where did it start? Where was it birthed? Where did the first idea just spark into your soul to say it's going to be called that? Did it always start as Higher Self
No,
Clothing?
it didn't always start as that. Of course, I did a previous clothing brand, which was called Recognize Real.
Right.
And that came from, well, I'll go back to when I was in jail, when I was locked up in 2018 to 2019 for selling narcotics. And I had time to self-reflect and sit down and analyse. And basically, I started meditating in jail. I started looking into Islam, reading the Quran, reading the Bible, Buddhism, and all them sort of things. And yeah, I really had a good time of self-reflection and away from all the noise from outside and everything. So out of a bad situation came a lot of good, because then I thought, you know what, I need to come back out and do something positive and just be the light that I know I am. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, let's not go out there and be the same as I was before, because now I've had time to self-reflect and think about what I need to do. So I started Recognize Real. The reason why I started Recognize Real, because if anybody knows me, I'm just real. I'm all about real. So that's what made me want to start Recognize Real. But what I found along that journey, I started to grow out of that kind of thought pattern and started to evolve and started to think like, yo, I want to do something more, because I'm attracting too much road, man. Do you know what I mean? And that's not what I'm trying to do. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to change the way people think, to get away from that road mentality and that. Do you know what I mean? So obviously I had a little falling out with the person that I did Recognize Real with. So it all started to make sense, because I no longer was in that, what would they call it, mindset, or in that realm of thought, or whatever you want to call it. So I then went on by myself and started Higher Self.
Okay.
I sat there for a while and thought about what name should I come up. I was thinking of Higher Power, or just something that is going to basically, I want to make a brand that's going to impact people's lives. Do you know what I mean? And like, obviously it's mad, because when I brought out Higher Self, it started popping up everywhere, and I was like, wow, that's alignment. So yeah, so bringing Higher Self Clothing has not only brought people together, like the community together, but it's kind of sparked higher self, like the meaning in people's thoughts. Like, yo, like people said to me, they look at the clothing and see higher self in the clothing, and it reminds them of higher self. Do you know what I mean? So it's good, because I'm on my higher self journey as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm battling between my higher self and lower self every day. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. None of us are perfect. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting that you said being locked up and changing your thought process made you then realize how it was that you needed to move differently.
Yeah.
And through that, a clothing brand ended up expanding. I love that. Obviously, I'm going to get into the journey of your time in prison later down the line as we continue speaking.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it yet.
Yeah.
So has the vision changed over time with Higher Self Clothing? Like, what was the first vision that you had within your mind when you first created it? And has that changed?
Has that changed? Yeah, because at first I just thought, want to get the name out there. Weren't really thinking about artwork or anything like that at first. But because I'm on my journey, I'm starting to learn about chakras, meditation, yoga and all them kind of things. So I'm thinking, yo, I need to start putting this on the clothing.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I've done like a chakra hoodie. I've recently done one about breathing deep and awakening within. And I've done one with like connect within and elevate beyond with the flower of life patterns, because I'm also learning about the flower of life myself. So it's like you're on a journey with me. Do you know what I mean?
I love that. I love how you explained it as on a journey with you, because I feel like when we are doing the stuff that, when we're working from the space where we're at, people can actually meet us there. And then you begin to meet people that are also on that same journey in the same spaces, further along or even behind, but they are mastering themselves in some type of way, shape or form. And obviously that's part of what we call, you know, higher self. I personally, I love your clothing, as you already know. Like, I'm an ambassador of your clothing for the simple fact of the quality is 10/10.
Yeah.
The stuff that you put on there is on point. Like, I'm heavy with the symbolism, and I've always been that way, because I understand how that works with the subconscious mind and how, you know, what it is that you resonate with, that's what's going to pull towards you.
Yeah.
So I love what you're doing, and I love the fact that you started this. So let's rewind. How long have you been actively on your spiritual journey?
Actively on my spiritual journey.
When was the first awakening? Everyone remembers the first awakening. Like, my first awakening was when my brother died when I was 16.
At 16.
Yeah, that was my first awakening. But I made sure I put myself back to sleep. And I know it sounds crazy, like, what? You put yourself back to sleep? Yeah. Because I was burying a lot of trauma that I didn't want to deal with. So I started partying, drinking, doing all of that. And then when I got through that, then I started to hear the scream in the ears again. Another awakening started, and I couldn't ignore that one.
Yeah.
So when was the first awakening for you?
First awakening, I'd say, like, I've been tapped in since I was young. Like, always used to see things, experience things, and yeah, I've felt and seen entities and that. Do you know what I mean? Growing up, I was told like I was mad or go back to sleep, or do you know what I mean? So I've always felt like I've been tapped in. I've always had messages and that, but not quite understood how to like put it into words. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, as I've been going through my journey, I was in the church. I was a Christian. Got baptized. Sang in a choir. Do you know what I mean? And then I felt like I had to leave. Like I didn't feel like I could expand. I felt like there was a lot more.
So is that where the voice comes from then? The singing voice?
Yeah, I used to be in the choir as well. Yeah. Yeah, but I've always liked to sing like in the mirror and stuff and that, like growing up and stuff. I love dancing and that. I used to dance for hours by myself in my room and stuff. So yeah, love music. I love singing. I love hearing vocals. I love beautiful voices. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, going off track a bit.
We're never off track. We're always on track. We're always on time.
On track. But yeah, so I say I had a proper awakening when I was inside. Yeah, just by myself. Do you know what I mean?
You can't beat those solo journeys.
Yeah, you can't. Just and then meeting people as well. Do you know what I mean? There were some older heads in there. And so, even though they're in a bad situation as well, there's full of knowledge in them places. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you've got nothing better to do than read books or go internally inside of self. And I'm a huge knower, I'm not going to say believer, I'm a huge knower in the fact that we have libraries internally inside of our own selves that we can access, whether that is through the DNA, whether that is through the soul. We have our own akashics that's inside of ourselves that we can tap into in order for us to get that real deep esoteric knowledge that isn't so much everywhere. You know, like there's generic knowledge that is everywhere, yes. But when you're in those places and you're solitary confinement and, you know, sometimes it's probably not solitary confinement, but you're not really talking to the person who you're locked up with, or you're in the cell by yourself, then you're going to have those moments by yourself instead of constantly on a phone or all of the distractions that we have out here. So you have to look at self.
That's what made me realise I weren't spending enough time by myself when I was out as well. So I found that being by myself, all the ideas that were coming to me when I was by myself, and I was able to, like, basically I was remembering my dreams a lot more in that as well, because I decided to stop smoking while I was in there. So the dreams that I was getting and the messages, I was like, whoa, this is what I've been missing out on. And it was showing me patterns that I was doing in my life that I needed to stop. So yeah, I'll go back onto, like, when I was out there, I was also taking cocaine as well, as well as selling it.
I'm going to get into that.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that. So yeah, hold that thought. Hold that thought. So you definitely say that your spiritual journey actively started when you was locked up.
Yeah.
And then started to actually look deeper inside of self.
Yeah.
I was going to ask how did that awakening happen, but I think we've covered that just by what you've said just there.
Yeah.
So did you lose a lot of friends along the way?
Yeah, definitely.
Was it due to a fact of you not resonating with them anymore? Or did you find that you just started falling out with people? Because I definitely believe that if we don't take the initiative to shut down certain interactions with people, that it will naturally happen itself, because that contract is now done. You know, I believe that we have particular contracts with people where some stay for a lifetime, some stay for a season, and others you'll probably see them a couple of days, one day, and then it's like you never see that person again, but they've given you something. So yeah, would you say that for yourself with the people that you stepped away from?
Yeah.
Was it a case of choice, or did it happen in ways that it's like, yo, what the hell?
I'd say both, because the more and more I started to do the work on myself, it's like then people just started to drop off anyway, just naturally. Do you know what I mean? And then I'd be in situations where I'd realise, like, yo, I've been in this situation before, and it's only going to come back to the same result. So now I need to step out of this.
Cycles are an interesting one, because they definitely do show you a lot about how you are running in circles, holding, you know, you literally, I said this in a previous podcast, you're holding your own neck, choking yourself and wondering why you can't breathe. So it's like you have to actually do that step forward and let go. So I get it. Totally get it. I've been in those spaces where I've lost a lot of friends. I wouldn't say lost in the sense of don't speak to them anymore. I can still say hi and, you know, probably chill for a quick 5 minutes, but it's not like before where it was every single day, all day, I'm with those particular people. But I found that I had to do that because there wasn't grasping who I was anymore. I changed, I evolved.
I get
and
that.
That's fine.
Same with me. Just weren't resonating with people anymore.
There you go.
Can't get involved in certain conversations. Do you know what I mean? Not that I'm better than anybody in that, but I just feel like I'm at a different frequency.
Well, we're all on different timelines, you know? So if your timeline ain't resonating with me no more, and it's taking me to a direction where I no longer wish to be, you know, I don't want to be in that realm anymore. I choose to jump onto a whole different timeline. And I'll meet new people that also resonate with that, you know? So we're going to go to the partying scene. So usually people on the partying scene hook up with multiple females. Was you like that?
Yeah, so I'd get myself into situations and be like, why am I in this again? Do you know what I mean?
Situations like what? Give us an example.
because when I was out there drinking
Mm-hmm.
and obviously taking cocaine or MDMA and things like that, partying and that, like, it's like, I can put it, it's like parasites take over
Mm-hmm.
and you're not in control. Do you know what I mean? So I was doing certain things that I wouldn't normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So like we'd have be with my friends or whatever, we'd have escorts,
Mm-hmm.
things like that in hotel rooms, apartments and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And also it's like when I used to drink and take certain things like cocaine and that, it would make you feel like basically horny.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So you felt like you had to like release
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. So like, yeah, it's like you're opening up your vessel when you're drinking and taking these things, and they just get in the driving seat and you're just going along with it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, entities, parasites do attach themselves to specific things.
Yeah,
You know, for instance, you're talking about coke. That
yeah,
has a particular entity and energy that will attach itself to that.
yeah,
You know, and then live through people in the same way. So that's why sometimes when I see people within that scene take coke, they all of a sudden they think they're hard and they want to beat up and
yeah,
fight
yeah.
everybody. And I've noticed it gives that energy to every single person where it makes them brave now.
Mm,
Don't know if it just deletes that whole realm of fear. And if we're going into that now, there actually is a parasite that does that.
yeah,
That actually removes that lens of fear in order to get you to do things that you
yes,
wouldn't actually normally
yes,
do and move in that particular way. And like you're saying, get escorts and stuff. So
yeah.
was this a regular thing?
Because what it was, I was selling to the escorts as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the escorts would be all up all night phoning me and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes in exchange would be this and that for that. Do you know what I mean? It would be things like that. So it was when I think about it now, or if I weren't drinking or taking cocaine, that would never come into my head.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
I'd never put you in that
yeah.
category. I would never look at you in that way.
Mm,
That's interesting how that's two different people to me. You sound like you're talking about someone that I don't know. Wow, I didn't know that version of you. So that is someone that I just completely did not know. And I would never come into the path of you if you were still that particular person or that version of yourself. So obviously you say things like escorts and stuff like that, but you must have had relationships around that
Yeah.
same time.
yeah.
So how was you balancing both of those?
It's mad. Yeah, I'd be in relationships, but I think at the same time I was getting into relationships where they would just drink as well. So we'd be partying, taking MDMA, we'd be up all night doing a madness, and do you know what I mean? So it was going from that and then to that. It was just the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where I had the issue as well. I'd be getting into relationships where there was no growth. They're doing exactly what I'm doing. So there was no room for that. So I couldn't see past that. It was like normal to me. So it's mad to be where I am now, to think like back then I couldn't see this even happening to me right now. Do you know what I mean? I thought there was no way out. Sometimes I used to get low and think, yo, I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean? I used to get on a downer after taking a cocaine and that for like 3 days, up to a week sometimes. Sometimes felt like committing suicide, thinking, is this it? Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean about that. Obviously, personally, coke wasn't a thing that I was taking.
Yeah.
MDMA, I was taking that. I was doing E's, smoking, drinking. And after the next day, it's like I feel completely numb, empty.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, there's an empty shell of my former self. Okay, and then now you're trying to look for the next place that you can go to. You know, when's the next party going to happen? Because you're trying to fill an empty void that's inside of yourself. But really, it's a case of extracting it internally and not from an external source.
Yeah.
There's something that you're running from, you know, some types of traumas that you're covering up, you know, thought patterns that you're stuck in a loop of. And I had to literally just stop doing everything just like that. It wasn't a case of weaning myself off stuff. The only thing that I continued up until 4 years ago was the smoking. And that was a escapism for me.
Yeah.
Straight. Because I was smoking myself to sleep trying to forget about the death of my brother and how many other people that had died along the way. And I didn't want to observe it. So I was trying to basically hide all of that. So I totally understand what you mean about being on a downer after.
Yeah.
Obviously, the drugs are going to do that to you, but at the same time, your traumas
Yeah.
are now surfacing.
And it's not that because, like, I was on my journey and I came out and I was still going back and forth with that. I'd think, yo, for 3 months I've been good, man. I feel like I'm vibrating higher. I feel like I'm getting somewhere now. And then I'd go and do that. And it's like back to square one. Do you know what I mean? But what I found with that, you just got to keep on pushing through. Do you know what I mean?
And you have to change your friend circle, because
circle,
if you're around the same circle, you're literally going to do the same shit.
Mm.
You know, or the temptation's always going to be there.
For real.
So, how's your relationship with women changed since then?
Like, I've always had respect for women. But, like, it made me realise, like, that world, there is no respect for women. Like, do you know what I mean? And it just made me think, like, why do women do that to themselves? Like, you know, with the escorting and things like that. And, like, what made... It's well, obviously, it wasn't even me, but, like, me entering different women and, like, and, like, the trauma that I was taking on as well, and their energy and that as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So it made me sit back and think. And even just not even just escorts, even just, like, going out on a night out, finding a girl to sleep with, and I don't even know the girl, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I woke up next and I'm thinking, raw, like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I was just moving reckless, just weren't thinking. It's like trying to build up a tally chart of how many girls you can sleep with and that, and like, that don't mean nothing, do you know what I mean?
Most men are like that, especially if they're from certain areas, and it ends like, it's like seen as a trophy, right?
Yeah.
To actually have multiple females. I'm glad I was never that female where I go out and end up sleeping with some random dude. Like, I'm so scornful that it just ain't gonna happen. Like, I ain't kissing no random dude, I ain't sleeping with no random dude, because in my mind it's like, where's your mouth been? Like, who are you even? So I feel like my scornfulness protected me from certain things that other people were doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grateful for that. But I feel like as a man, it's different. Like, men do that stuff and just think, yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, put a condom on and it'll be fine, just mash and leave. But it does affect them too.
Yeah. Well, that's the mentality of people, though. A lot of men go out to find a woman to do something with, and vice versa.
Because they don't have any control of their desires. You know, if you can't control your desires control you, which turn into addictions. Which now, you know, it's literally got all your power in its hands, and you think that you've got the power, but no. That addiction, that impulse that you can't control is what is now leading you. Yeah. Unfortunately. Give me 5 positive changes you say that you've made over the last 10 years.
I'd say 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Changing my diet. Yeah. So I went plant-based in, 2017? 2018, 17. All the way up to 6 weeks ago. I went on to fish. And now I ate fish for 2 weeks, but I felt like my spirit was calling to eat that, because there was something in there that I needed, and it did feel like it filled something. Do you know what I mean? But now I haven't ate it for 4 weeks, so I'm officially plant-based again. Do you know what I mean? So that's one good positive thing, because obviously I feel better eating that way, and I do see everything is connected. So even down to eating animals, I know some people are here to eat animals and that's their journey and that, but I'm not into like the killing of animals and the pain that they have to go through and them kind of things and that. So I can't bring myself to do it. Do you know what I mean? Not again.
I wouldn't physically do anything like that, but I understand that everyone's got their own journey. So this is why I don't call myself vegan, for instance. That label has so much negative connotation stuck to it. I think that vegans can be very judgy of other people, and it's like, are you forgetting that you was once them? Doesn't matter if you're not anymore. You was once them, and you forgetting that there's many different walks of life, and people have to do things to learn certain things in their own way. So that means some people will go a whole 99 years and never be vegan, and they'll be fine. And you have to accept that. You know, people need here to learn different things through different walks of life.
With me though, eating that way, I feel like I'm able to receive more information. I feel lighter as well. And I'm someone that's always on the move. And I like, do you know what I mean, with my energy and everything and that. So what made me realise when I was eating a certain way, I weren't able to receive as much messages as I'm receiving now. Do you know what I mean? I feel slumped after eating. There's no energy. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's definitely a positive.
So yeah, as you were saying, like it makes you feel lighter to eat in a specific way and retain messages and downloads and stuff. I understand where you're coming from because I was already on my spiritual journey, like deep in it, before I even changed my diet. So I was already channeling, I was already doing certain things before that and changing a lot of things about the way that I lived. But I kept hearing this constant message of changing my diet in order for me to actually tap in more to myself. And I did. And I just did a whole 9 months raw, and it was just, it was so electrifying. I could feel the electric running through my body. And now I know more about the nervous system. Now I'm understanding that I was actually restructuring that nervous system and flushing out certain things out the lymphatic system. And we don't actually understand how every single part of the body holds, as well as physical matter. It also holds spiritual things. It also holds traumatic stuff. And in changing certain ways that you eat, I think all of this is going to enable you to actually release things from those parts of the body, which now you can actually receive more, you know, because the cup's been emptied out a little bit. The container can now receive more and remember more.
And remember more. So when you do the work as well and deal with certain traumas that you haven't been dealing with, it also changes the way you eat as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You realise, I've been eating like this because of that. Because I didn't deal with that. So I mean, so
I agree, because most people feed emotional states and they don't realise that. Like, I have my moments when I want a bag of crisps, and I'm going to eat that bag of crisps. I'm not going to turn around and say, I'm just going to deprive myself from. No, I'm going to do it, because life is also about balance.
Exactly.
But me taking the piss and every day, all day, that's all I'm eating, my body's going to react to that in some type of negative way. And obviously, that's going to affect me. It's going to affect the way I'm thinking. And now I have to think to myself, well, why was I actually eating? How did I feel before I started eating that? And then you'll find that you're feeding some sort of negative emotion that you haven't actually dealt with. And obviously emotions sit in the solar plexus, which is in the actual digestive system, which is in the stomach. So that's where you're feeding that. So I'll never eat when I'm angry. I'll never eat when I'm pissed off. You know, I'll never eat when I'm in those negative states, because you're feeding that particular frequency. I won't cook when I'm in those spaces either. I have to just cleanse my energy and ground myself before I'm doing that, because I know the energy transference into that food is going to, affect whoever it is that's eating it, myself included. This is why, if I go somewhere and the person's angry there, I'm not eating there. And people say, oh, why are you like that? I'm not eating there. No, thank you. Because you've just transferred that energy into that food. And people always say to me, oh, your food just tastes like it's made with love. Because it is. It's always made in that way. And it will always be.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
That fast food.
So let's talk about fatherhood. You're a single dad. And I don't find that often within the black community. Now saying this, people will probably end up commenting and saying, well, I'm a single dad. And if that's you, comment below. Let me see how many single dads are really about, because I rate yours highly. That doesn't mean that single moms are not rated also, but I think single moms is normal. Single dads isn't something that you hear very often. So let's talk about that. Is he 14?
Yeah, he's 14.
Yeah, so you got a 14-year-old son. Amazing son at that, can I tell you? I just love his energy. I love who he is as a person. How do you cope with being a single dad?
That's so cool. It was hard at first when I had him from 14 months. Officially took him on properly. I couldn't really work or anything like that because of nursery fees, and that was just way too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on benefits and weren't driving up the time, so it was just up and down the roads and everywhere with him in the pushchair and that, which I enjoyed in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a massive life change, do you know what I mean? Without the mum being there, so
Mm-hmm.
technically I'm like the mum and the dad as well, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it taught me a lot about myself and that as well. It taught me a lot about myself and showed me areas in my life where I had to change as well to be a good father.
So was his mum ever in his life before that?
Yeah, up to 14 months. Up to 14 months, she was there.
Was you two together at that point?
Yeah, we was together. We was together. No, not up to 14 months. I'd say up to about 9 months.
So
Yeah.
was you an active dad at that point as well? When you were
That
together with
went
him
up
then?
because at 14 months, I just got out for fighting
Right.
when I was younger.
So you got out of prison again at that point?
Yeah, for fighting.
Right.
That was 10 years. Yeah, 10, 11 years prior to the last offence. Yeah, so...
So when he was born, you was locked up?
No, I was out.
Mm-hmm.
He was 4 months old, then I went in.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she had him and that. And, yeah, while I was in there, all sorts of manners happened. She obviously cheated on me while I was in there, went with somebody else. And basically left my son at one of her friend's house. So my mum had to go and pick him up and take him back to the house.
Wow.
So luckily, just after that happened, I was got released anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
How did that affect you?
being inside.
Being inside,
Yeah.
like having your partner cheat on you and then not looking after your child?
Yeah, it did mess me up because and then obviously I'm in there trying to talk, trying to phone her, and she just ignoring me. So that was driving me crazy, like being in there, and just like, yeah, I just got through it though. I got through it.
That could have made you like literally flip out while being in there and do something crazy, and then you know what I mean, get yourself into a deeper space. So what kind of coping mechanism did you use?
I said press-ups. Press-ups helped me a lot.
So exercise.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Gym, just running on the yard, reading.
It's interesting that you say movement because you already know that somatic movement moves energy around the body and allows the body to actually, rid itself of specific negative energy or blockages that may be in the body. But also you do like running, walking.
Yeah.
That is literally a purging energy that allows the body to actually shake off all of that excess. So it's like you didn't realize what you was doing from a deeper aspect of this, but for some reason you continued to do it because it was helping you. That's powerful.
And also music as well. Music helped me out a lot as well. And then, I remember doing affirmations back then as well. While I was sitting there saying, just like empowering myself, saying, I can get through it, and do you know what I mean? Because it was hard, because obviously while I was in there, my friend's like, oh yeah, I've seen her with that guy, she's with that guy. So she's proper with him now, and I'm in there. And I can't do nothing about it. Do you know what I mean? And
so obviously, did you love this person at that point?
Yeah, because she was seeing me while I was in there.
Right.
And she's bringing Elijah up to the prison and seeing me all the time and that. So I never would have thought that, do you know what I mean? So, that was hard. That was very hard. I'd say that was very hard, to be honest.
I could imagine. Obviously, I could only imagine. I couldn't put myself in that, in those shoes, because I would never be, And I feel like for men, they're always told not to express emotion, where to me, it's powerful for a man to express emotion, because that clearly shows that you're human. We are all human, yes, with the spirit and the body, but we're also in a space of the 3D where it's a human space. And there's feelings, emotions, desires. There's all of these things that are human stuff, earthly things that we're supposed to feel and express. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, firstly, how did that affect you when it came to relationships after that?
Hard to trust. Didn't really trust. Do you know what I mean? So it was like a thing where it's either we're doing a thing or something, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? and I'm not going to make it go any further than that. Do you know what I mean?
So did you get into a relationship after that?
After that, it was probably about 4 years after that, 3-4 years after that. It was about 3 years after that I got into a relationship, yeah.
Interesting that it took you so long to do that. It's like your heart was trying to heal itself, but didn't really want to let anybody in.
Yeah.
And then obviously you got your son to think about.
Yeah.
So you've got family that also help with your son, right?
It's your mother, and my sister and my dad, It's to help me.
How have you noticed that this affects your son?
It was hard at times because he used to sit there and cry to me on his bed and say, why doesn't my mum love me and stuff like that? And I'd end up crying as well because I'm like,
of course,
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. All I can do is hug him and to say it's all right. Do you know what I mean? But what used to hurt him as well is that his mum went and had 3 other kids, and he was the first kid, so it made him feel away, like no one cared about him. Do you know what I mean? But luckily he had us around him.
I can feel emotions surfacing now as I'm literally talking to you.
Yeah.
This is a deep thing. I don't think men really talk about these types of things. And this is why I ask, how did you feel? Do you know, like, because you're still feeling it.
Yeah.
You're still going through it. You're still having to make sure that your son's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think I actually ask you enough how you feel when it comes to having to raise him solo. That's got to be a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot still.
And when you look at him, do you see the mom at all in any kind of way?
See his mum?
Yeah.
A bit, yeah. Because he's going to have some traits and it comes from her, do you know what I mean?
Of course.
But, yeah, it's been very hard, but like it's 14, I had him from 14 months and he's like 14 years old now, so I'm proud of myself for like even getting that far with him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I rate you. Like, I rate you highly at the way that you raise him and the way you continue to move forward regardless and support him through it also. And also, one other thing that I rate is that you don't bring loads of different females around him and be doing a madness with women, which I rate because that then shows him how to navigate and move when it comes to that. Because there could be also a blockage in his heart when it comes to women. Because I've noticed when sons don't have their mother, there is a need for them then to rely more on a partner that they may get for that same love that they didn't receive from their mom. So now they're expecting more from that partner to mother them. And that can be a really dangerous place for them to be, because they're relying on that love from that woman. And if that woman doesn't give it them because she's feeling like, yo, like, I'm not your mom type of thing, like, why are you trying to put all this onto me? It can cause them to then feel like they're just being neglected again. So the reason why I say it is because maybe that's one of the things that you have to be mindful of as he grows.
Right now.
Yeah, as he grows, be mindful of that, because you can't give him the love that his mum was meant to give him.
Also want to say though, his grandma was a beautiful woman as well, which is his mum's mum, and she passed away, which really hurt him as well because he was very close to her, and she used to help me out a lot as well with him. He still has a picture at the side of his bed of her and it, because he was very close. So that was even hard telling him that she passed away as well.
That must have affected you as well, though, because if she's helping you, then that's a huge crutch, you know, a huge set of arms. Yeah, that's now gone.
She used to have him on weekends for me, like in the holidays, and that. She would allow me to like have weekends and stuff. She'd just have him. So not every weekend, but yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So does he still ask questions now?
About his grandma?
Like, about his mom?
Oh, about his mom?
About the whole situation?
It's like, it's got to a point where, he used to be really bothered about it, yeah, but it's like now, because he had some support at school, because the school's mum and that, and he's had counsel and stuff like that. he's sort of like, not that he hates her, but he's just not really bothered about her anymore. Like that. All he seems to be bothered about is his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to see his brothers.
Yeah, I think that's essential for him to build relationships with them.
Yeah.
I think that will help him then. He'll probably start asking them questions in regards to her more in order to make a connect and link, because he's come from her womb, so
Yeah.
there's also going to be, you know, a longer need to actually have some type of communication or connection with her, even if he seems like he's not bothered now.
Yeah.
You know? How did you two even meet?
We met, I think we was talking on Facebook at first. And then we started meeting.
Interesting. How old was you when you had it? When you had it?
When I did Elijah?
Mm.
I think back now. I think I was 21, 22.
Okay, so still at a young age where
Yeah.
you're both finding yourselves and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Has having your son changed you in any way?
Has having my son changed me in any way?
Yeah.
Through the pregnancy, and I didn't know what quite to expect or where my life was going to go in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the best thing that happened to me, to be honest. Plus, he's born on my birthday as well. So,
twinning.
Yeah. Not that I didn't have something to live for before, but I feel like I have more now. Do you know what I mean? So, and I've got to think more about what I'm doing and things like that as well. As I've realised on the journey as being a father, do you know what I mean? You're still learning. Even though you're bringing up a child, you're still learning yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. You're still growing and maturing yourself. So
yeah. And also, I see children as our teachers as well. So I've learned a lot of him as well.
I think children are super powerful if they're listened to. Most people, like, you know, like when it's older generation, it's like, yeah, you fit, you know, quiet and be in the corner and just sit down, you know, be seen and not heard type of vibe. And I feel like that then shuts down the confidence of the child and makes them feel like every single bit of authority that comes within their life and tells them something or tells them to do something, they must listen to that. That can be a dangerous space because then things can happen and occur and they'll never tell you because, oh, that person's older than me, they're an authority, they told me to do X, Y, and Z. So I feel like children should be able to have a voice. Yes, be respectful to everyone. It doesn't matter who that or what age that person may be. But at the same time, they have things to teach. And have just come from a realm that was just so powerful. They're in a space of remembrance. So they get it. They're not as brainwashed or, you know. Yeah.
So you should never shut off your kids when they've got something to say. Man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Not.
Even if it seems cheeky, I feel like there are things to learn from that. Definitely. And there's messages that they can give you without realising it. Yeah. Was it a struggle to change your lifestyle? And is there anything that you miss about being that version of yourself?
Oh, being that version of myself?
Yeah, is there anything at all that you miss?
Like the partying days and selling drugs and things like that. Anything
part of it that you miss? I think sometimes things can be really like, oh my gosh, that was actually fun. Even though I know it's not good for me. Yeah. Do you know, like, there's a part of it that was really fun that I do miss.
I'd say, like, something that I'd still do now. I used to like the festivals a lot. So travel out of town and do festivals and that. So, do miss that. But also at them festivals, I used to be selling a lot and doing all sorts.
But now you're finding different festivals.
Now we're going to more conscious festivals and stuff like that, spiritual festivals. So, yeah, it's a massive change. But like, I just probably just miss that aspect of it. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't miss anything else, to be honest.
I love that. So, HigherSelfTheMovement. Yeah. Obviously, for those watching that don't know, I'm also a part of HigherSelfTheMovement. But there's questions that I probably don't even ask you because I'm just in it. Yeah. So, with HigherSelfTheMovement, where did the idea first come from?
The idea from going out into nature myself, do you know what I mean? And I'd say Marlon from We Go Outside has inspired me as well. Because he used to go everywhere with him, we used to stay away with him and that, me and my son and that as well. So, I've done some amazing hikes with Marlon. And I felt like when I was doing these hikes, and I just felt so like, say complete, like just at peace and that as well. Just realised how much it was helping me and just connecting with people, like-minded people, just networking and that. And yeah, but it was beautiful.
I love how you give props to him, because obviously he's such a beautiful soul, so gentle, and I know that he started due to losing his son and you know, wanted to actually find that internal peace. So the fact that he's actually brought that to other people through wanting to find that, you know, internally inside himself, he also brought you, you know, an ounce of peace. There you go. There's a bit of peace for you, because he was able to find it inside of himself, which is a beautiful thing. So shout out to you, Marlon. Yes, shout out to Marlon. You go outside too. Big ratings, seriously. It doesn't go unnoticed, the things that you're doing for the community. So if you had access to a couple of million now, how would you utilize that with HigherSelfTheMovement?
Oh, with HigherSelfTheMovement? I'll take people abroad. That's what I want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Take people abroad for...
To do a hike, like, we could say, like, do a hike. We could do Kilimanjaro, people up for doing stuff like that, do you know what I mean? Or not even just a hike, because we're looking to do retreats and that as well. So we could do a retreat abroad and that as well. Like, obviously, you've spoke about Bali, different places like that. So I want to take HigherSelfTheMovement worldwide. That's what I would want to do with the millions.
So that would be the first way that you use it?
Yeah.
I hear that.
Probably create a centre in that as well, like a hub in that as well, a HigherSelfTheMovement building, where people could come and, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go too into things, so I've got ideas, but I don't want
to put I already knew you was going to say that, because I thought about it myself. When I was going to ask the question, I was like, should I ask this? Yeah. But I know you're smart enough to do that. I'll just say one thing that I really love about you is that you're a very loyal friend. And I know that because you're a loyal friend to me. And the energy that you brought into my life is so appreciated on so many different levels. You've made me see myself in different lights. And I didn't realize that I needed that. I didn't realize that I needed men around me that were not just looking at me in a sexual way and had my back and showed love. And I didn't realize I needed it. And I'm talking to you now and I'm feeling emotion riding in my body, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? I wasn't expecting this emotion to surface. But I didn't realize that I needed that. And when it came along, at first I didn't even know how to receive that. I had to literally, you know, go inside and rebalance my own self to be like, okay, do you know what I mean? This person's actually different. Because most men, it's just automatic. It's sexualized first and foremost. Do you know, they probably, yes, do want specific, you know, help with certain things, but it's automatic sexualization. And with you, I didn't get that, and I don't get that with you. And the loyalty that you bring is just, second to none. So I just want to say that I rate you for that. And have you always been that way?
No, I've always been that way, due to the conditioning and the way I used to think, do you know what I mean? I used to look at, like, even like when I hear certain circles that I used to be in today, like, girls are just looked at as something that you just go in and out of, and that's it, do you know what I mean?
That part.
Yeah, or man would say to me, you've got a lot of girlfriends, are you doing things with them? And I'm like, no.
People have probably said it to you about me, because...
Yeah, people have said it to me about you as well.
Yeah,
and it's like,
people actually think like when you've got a male friend or female friend, it's automatically going to be that. Yeah. It's like, why can you not have a friend of the opposite sex and it not be that?
Yeah, not be that.
I think it's weird to think that every single male or female that you come across, you're meant to sleep with.
No,
it's odd. To me, it's weird, because why are you going to spread yourself so thin? Do you know? And that doesn't mean that, you don't rate the person. That don't mean that. Like, just because I rate somebody doesn't mean that I want to jump into bed with them. Like, it just shows you where their mind's at.
Yeah.
Do you know? Because, like, multiple people have said it to me, you and my man doing a thing. No. Like,
Yeah.
why? Why is it automatically got to be that? Because you're always around him and stuff. But that doesn't mean that.
Yeah. It's
Why
mad,
can't I
like,
just like his company?
yeah.
Why can't it just be friends? Like,
Yeah.
why is it always got to be something more than that?
Yeah.
What's you gonna say?
It's like, it's mad. Why can't a man be a friend with a woman? Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's always been like that. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, I don't think it has. But how society is nowadays,
Yeah.
it's just thrown in our face constantly. You know, that whole sex sells.
Yeah.
Where sex is a powerful energy,
Yeah.
but sex and creativity are in the same space. They both sit in a sacral, and within that sacral, the sexual reproductive system that's where sexual activations happen.
Yeah.
That's where sexual energy is conjured. But if that's the case, then sometimes when you meet somebody, and for instance, you're feeling a really good vibe with this person, someone will automatically go to a sexual interaction with that person. But why don't you sometimes think to yourself, well, maybe there's something to create with this person? Because creation energy, sexual energy is the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do we not know that there's something that I'm meant to create with this individual? Let's sit down. Let's have a little moment of, okay, what ideas do you have? What ideas and let's build something. Do you know how much more power and things that you can build that are going to make change on Earth just by doing that?
Yeah.
But no, most people just waste it and have a sexual interaction instead of building. But it's the same energy. So yeah, this is where I feel like a lot of people go wrong, where they just, mistake it for being the other.
So it's not sex, it's creation.
There you go. And okay, is sex creation? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Sex is also creation.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, what part of the fork are you going to actually decide to focus on? Because you can channel all that same energy, that sexual energy, and build something that's even greater than a 20-minute orgasm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that's actually going to echo through the ages.
Yeah. It's mad. It just shows how disconnected men are from women as well.
Definitely. What would you say has been the biggest lesson in your life?
The biggest lesson? So obviously I stopped drinking for like 6 months prior to me not drinking for like a year and a half now. So I did 6 months off, and then I had a drink. Was it not April? I met April before for my cousin's birthday, and then I had a drink, and it ended up crashing my car. And then that made me realise, like, yo, that means it's gotta stop. I can't even have a drink again. So that was the biggest lesson for me, because I could have died. Do you know what I mean? And what I noticed when I was drinking, went back to the same things around loads of girls and that. Took some girls back to a hotel, getting sucked back in. So I thought, nah, I ain't going back there. Do you know what I mean? So that was a big lesson for me.
Interesting. So before we were talking about prison.
Yeah.
You did say what you was locked up for already, but how long was you locked up for?
Well, I got 32 months, and I was told to do 16, so you do half in it. And then I came at 11 and a half on good behaviour, so the rest was tag. So, was that the question?
Yeah. I'm saying how long.
Yeah.
So being in that space, like, how many times have you been locked up actually?
So, when I was younger, I think it was around 16 or something, street robberies and offensive weapon. And then 2 years after that, was it fighting? No, it was theft. So I used to do a lot of robberies when I was younger. Like,
so how much is the total amount?
Total amount. Two proper sentences and 2 remand, like juveniles. Yeah.
Freaking hell, you weren't playing, was you?
Yeah.
You could have went down such a different path.
Yeah.
Like, the way that you've changed, you should be proud of yourself. Seriously, not a lot of people get out of it, you know? Most people end up spiraling back into the same spaces. I think you've actually answered the question in regards to, like, how did that change you?
Yeah.
You know, I think you've answered that as well.
Changed me as well, because it made me realise I want to help people as well. That was in a situation basically is in a similar situation to what I was in. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm recently doing like alcohol drug awareness course, done my life coaching and mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to help people that are going through the same struggle. Do you know what I mean? With narcotics and drinking, because I know how hard it can be. I've been there. Do you know what I mean?
So the last few weeks, I know you've been on a parasite cleanse.
Yeah.
How's that been going?
It's been going well. It's been a battle.
What part of it's been battling for you?
Not being able to have fruit, because I cut out fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But I have misbehaved twice.
And obviously, with the whole fruit thing,
Yeah.
that was taken out in regards to, do you know, parasites and fungus can work together. And with that fungal stuff, it feeds off sugar, and any kind of sugar.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter if it's fruit or not. So hence why you had to actually take out the actual fruit itself. But would you say there's any patterns that showed up for you that made you realise certain things that you were actually doing? I know, obviously, you eat healthier anyway, but sometimes we can be in loops and not even realise it. And until we start doing things like fasting and cleanses, that's when we kind of register.
Experiences that I've had, I've realised that a lot of the things that I was eating is mad sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've realised.
Interesting.
I've realised that I think like you can kind of sort of like program your body to eat like, think that it needs to eat 3 times a day. Do you know what I mean? And I've realised I only need to eat once, and the rest of the day I can just have juices. Do you know what I mean? Or even that, I could just have 2 smoothies for the day and juices, and I'll be okay. So it's taught me a lot about my body and that as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's like overindulgence, right?
Yeah.
So I know on the fast you had a moment where, like, headaches, felt like you couldn't walk properly. Tell us more about what happened there.
We've murdered a parasite.
But what happened? What was the effects on the body?
So what happened? I think it was, I got up in the morning and I was feeling like lightheaded and like I was gonna be sick. Stomach. I think it was like stomach cramps, stomach ache, hot and cold sweats, but feeling like I'm gonna be sick, but I can't be sick. So I decided to go to the toilet because I could hardly stand up. So I was like, I'm going to the toilet, and then after, what's the right way to say this? After doing the number 2, I felt a lot better, and then it kicked in again about 10 minutes after, and then went to the toilet and did the same thing. And like when that happened, I felt like something went off my stomach twice. Do you know what I mean? But there was a huge relief. So I was like, yo, what's going on here? What's happened here? So obviously I phoned you, and I said, such and such has just happened. And he said, that's what happens when you kill a parasite.
Yeah, it literally is. Your detox pathways weren't completely open when it comes to the rest of the pathways itself. So it was trying to find its way out the colon, which is one of the detox pathways. And this is why I say with people going into parasite cleanses to have to remember to keep those detox pathways open. Hence I was saying to you, go to the sauna, do all these types of things. You're like, have you gone sauna? No, I haven't done it yet. And you did it after that, though. You did it after that.
Yeah, I did.
And you was like, oh, I feel so much better. Like, I feel, because it's opening all of those pathways so the toxins can fly out. Because once you start killing those parasites, the toxins are going to start swimming around the body. When the toxins start swimming around the body now, if you don't have those detox pathways open, you're going to reabsorb dead parasites and the toxins that's being let off by it. So now you have to think to yourself, how's the body going to cope with that? So that's going to cause more issues, more problems, hence why the headache, hence why the swollen lip. The body's reacting now because it needs to get this stuff out and out fast. But yeah, parasites are real smart.
Yeah, they are very smart. And it's not just like, it's a spiritual thing as well.
Of course it is.
Because I actually talk to them as well. Do you know what I mean? And I tell them that I'm coming to murder.
He said he's not joking. He's actually serious. I've heard him do it.
So I talk to them, but like I do inner talks and that as well with them as well. Do you know what I mean? But like you said, like you've taught me, they all have a purpose as well. Do you know what I mean?
And this is what I state in my book. You can't get mad at the parasite. The parasite has a function.
Yeah.
It has a purpose. And it's doing its purpose very well. You can't even fault it because it's doing its purpose immaculately. But that doesn't mean that you need to hold on to it inside of your body and it's causing havoc inside of you. Someone said yesterday, something that I've always thought, and something that I'm sure I've written in the book, where she was saying, oh, maybe the bacteria and the parasites are the real demons. And I've seen that to be true, because I've had, spiritual ceremonies with people. Also, I've written this in the book. Spiritual ceremonies with people where I see those internal parasites manifest on a spiritual level, and manifest on a spiritual level where you're actually seeing them face to face, like you're seeing an actual demon. And when you're seeing that face to face, now a battle can commence, because that doesn't want to actually leave. It doesn't want to die, but it knows it's time for it to go. And then what happens within these ceremonies? People purge. Why are you purging? Because it's sat in the stomach. Because that parasite is sitting in the stomach physically and needs to be excavated out of the actual body. So you purge in order to release it. But because it goes through the layers, it's literally also an entity on the spirit realm. But there's so much more that we could delve into with that. I want to go too deep with it. There's so much you can go through. How would you say that this parasite cleanse has helped you so far?
Say how it's helped me. Well, it's helped clear up my skin. Definitely helped clear up my skin. It's made me realise that, like, maybe I need to implement more herbs and drink more herbs. And, like, it showed me that, basically, a cleanse is necessary. I don't know how many times for the year. I don't know what to suggest, but when you feel like you need to do it, just do it.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes people do cleanses, but they don't go deep enough. And if you're not going deep enough, then you're only doing one layer. There could be multiple layers underneath that also need clearance. And then within 3 months' time, the body starts reacting again. It's like, oh, what's going on here now? Because you didn't go deep enough through the layers. Most people don't understand that once the parasites, you're killing those parasites, they're laying eggs. And then now those eggs are going to start hatching. Once you've killed those eggs are going to start hatching in a couple of weeks' time. So now if you've already stopped, you're not going to get those eggs. So now they're, and it's like, the cycle never stops. It's like, they actually want to live, though. This is what we're not understanding. They want to live, so they want to keep their lineage going, just like we keep our lineage going. They also want to do the same.
It's clever how God created it, the parasites as well, because we need them. They're like an indicator.
Yeah, most definitely. So this is why I say they're at the gateway of your power. They're literally like gatekeepers, sitting at the gateway of your own power. I'm at this gateway because there's trauma sitting here that you haven't dealt with. You've decided you don't want to deal with it. So I'm going to feed on that. Because it's energy that I can feed on. And then if you realise that people have certain things happen, like, okay, this person's now got cancer. Okay, this person's now got this or that. And these illnesses don't just come from the physical space. They're coming from all the other realms of self. The physical space is actually the last space that they show. So it's already been trying to get your attention multiple different times on multiple different layers in multiple different ways, and you didn't listen to it. Or you didn't see it because you was blind to it. And then it gets to that last layer in the physical body now, and then now it starts to show, and it's like, oh my gosh, this person's got cancer. But that was already happening inside the body. That cell was already morphing into that specific thing. That trauma was already a breeding ground for more bacteria and parasites to actually grow and feed and nourish that cell in a negative way.
That's why it's important to listen, because these parasites can manifest into, like you said, cancer.
Definitely.
And other things.
Multiple different illnesses. You get me? Nervous system illnesses, immune system problems. There's a lot of people that have immune system disorders right now. And a lot of it is that. The toxins that are sitting in the body, the parasites that are actually there and not being dealt with. And you go to a doctor, he ain't going to be looking for no parasites. Like, there's so many stories right now of coroners going through bodies. And what are they finding in the bodies? Parasites. And loads of them too. And it's like, come on now, if this is not showing you that internally the battle is internal. It's always an internal battle. And it just shows up externally.
People don't want to do that battle, though.
Yeah, it's not an easy battle to do though. I'll be honest with you, it ain't.
It's a hard battle.
Some days it's like, yo, am I actually here? You know, am I actually sane? So you will go through a mad journey where you feel like you're pulling parts of yourself apart in order to pull it back together again. And it's not an easy thing to do, you know, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
That's right. I think like I've done a reconfiguration. Yeah.
Definitely.
Parasite cleanse.
So did you notice anything about your cravings?
Yeah. Cravings are gone. A lot of the cravings.
What cravings would you notice in that? All right, for instance, for me, when I was doing the last parasite cleanse that I did, I'm due another one now, but when I was doing the last one, onion rings. Onion rings.
Oreos.
And I was like, why onion rings? Like, every day I'm like, just go buy the onion rings. You're not buying the onion rings. Yeah, just go buy it. Who's going to know? I'm going to know.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, how am I battling inside myself like this? Yeah. But the parasite's trying to get the onion rings because it knows that that's what feeds it, right? Part of what feeds it. Yeah, part of what feeds it. And then I needed it. In my head, I needed it. In my soul, I needed it. Yeah. But I didn't need it. So I was like, nah, I'm stronger than that. That's not going to tell me what to do. Yeah. I'm going to tell it what to do.
That's the battle I've started having.
So you said Oreos for you?
Yeah, I'd say Oreos. I used to eat a lot of them, you know, like lentil chips.
Yeah.
A lot of lentil chips.
It's mad because we think that certain things are healthier, but still, you know, they're still feeding that craving and still feeding that particular parasite because it's processed. You know, and it's like, oh yeah, feeding on processed food. I feel like that's why so many people have parasites now, because processed food is got like it's normal. It's become like it's normal food now. Right? We are coming to an end. Yeah. So, what's the last word of wisdom that you would give to people on their journeys of life?
I'd say keep on, to stay on your journey, innit? And don't worry about what anybody else thinks, innit? Do you know what I mean? Just do you. You're not here to please anybody but yourself. Do you know what I mean? So be authentic, be yourself, live in your purpose, be the light. Also embrace the dark in that as well. But be the light and just be the best you can and do the best for humanity, which is what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm here to change the world. I'm here to disrupt the system. I'm not here to fit in. So that's what I'm about.
Love that. Here to disrupt the system. You heard. So I'm going to put the Instagram that you can follow in the caption below, so you can find how to follow him there. And also, if you don't have my book already, get yourself a book. It's called Parasites, The Hidden Root of Disease, where I go into how parasites affect the body spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I go in. It's not a book. It's more of a manual. I even have reflection times where you can actually sit down and reflect upon your own journey. So that it's not just you just reading something. You're literally matching it to your own life so you can have a transformational journey. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you're not subscribed, what you doing? You better press that subscribe button. Like and share with other people that you feel could do with listening to this. Thank you ever so much. See you later.